can make me lay low. You can make me low. Baby throwing back tricks, matches on the mattress, jumping over turnstiles, you feel acrobatic, spinning by a halo, spending on my payroll. You can make me lay low. You can make me keep it on the low. Quiet as the sound of falling snow. Settle for alone. Careless as the boys of rock and roll. Living out a daydream. It's funny where it takes me. Keeps us spinning upside down. Moments in the sleeping town. Something in your way could drive me mad. I'm trying to see what's up beneath the plaid. I'm tipsy when no bottles have been had. Something in your way could drive me mad. Baby throwing back tricks, matches on the mattress, jumping over turnstiles, you feel acrobatic, spinning by a halo, spending on my payroll. You can make me lay low. You can make me low. Baby throwing back tricks, matches on the mattress, jumping over turnstiles, you feel acrobatic, spinning by a halo, spending on my payroll. You can make me lay low. You can make me low.
You're alright, you're still breathing, even though you feel dead sometimes. You'll be fine, you're still eating, even though it doesn't last sometimes. 'Cause even if your eyes are black, your bones are always gold. 'Cause it's climbed up every mountain that no story's ever told. 'Cause even if your bags are packed, you'll never leave your home. 'Cause you're scared of all the monsters that are waiting to unfold. Blank noise is an awful sound, and it hurts my ears, I don't know how. My name's just a silhouette hiding under all the sound out. 'Cause even if your eyes are black, your bones are always gold. 'Cause it's climbed up every mountain that no story's ever told. 'Cause even if your bags are packed, you'll never leave your home. 'Cause you're scared of all the monsters that are waiting to unfold. Boy, I'm scared. Boy, I'm scared. Boy, I'm scared. Boy, I'm scared.
Whoa, almost missed you there. Make sure to check out all of our scheduled shows. You're bound to find something you like. chapmanradio.live/schedule.
Hi, this is Claire.
I'm Jack.
And I'm Camille, and we're the hosts of The Compod on ChapmanRadio.live.
Join us every Thursday at 9 a.m. where we take a deep dive into the people that make up the School of Communication at Chapman University.
You can also listen to or watch previous episodes by searching The Compod on Spotify or going to Chapman Radio's YouTube channel.
If you're not sick of us yet, please follow us on TikTok at The Compod.
Welcome to Girls on Film with Chapman Radio.
Follow us on our socials at Girls on Film Radio.
What's up, party people? Welcome back to Girls on Film Radio. No filter, no boys, just two Dodge girls talking about the films that we want to talk about. It's been a really long weekend.
But we are in the studio just for you.
Woo! We have a lot to go over.
But before we start, we have a little
special guest
in the stew.
Our roommate, Paige!
Yay!
Do we have a clapping sound effect we can play for her? There's a bunch of random ones up there.
We have this.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Paige wanted to join us.
Would you like to say hello? Hopefully you're on.
You're on. Oh, you're on. You're good.
Hello? Yeah!
Yeah,
I got you on.
It's been a while. She hasn't been here since, like, freshman year, so.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yes.
Woohoo!
But she'll be tuning in, or popping in,
giving her
making
little
a
thoughts.
comment.
She's a New York girlie. She's been around New York.
New York.
She'll be going soon as well.
Yes.
So
We prepped her with all the prices of the Ubers that we took.
all the restaurants we hit up.
But we don't have any breaking news because this entire episode is just breaking news.
Yeah.
I guess our breaking news is we won! Yeah.
Wait, one more time.
We won at IBS for Best Show Promotional Poster, and I blacked out when we won.
Yeah, out of Chapman Radio's 6 nominations,
we are
Girls on Fart is the only one who won.
And it was a group effort. This is a win for Chapman Radio, and we are very excited to share the wealth.
And we're very grateful for the opportunity, and we're so lucky to be able to say that we were able to represent our great station.
Yeah, and we got to go to New York City for free. So,
yeah. Just as a preface, film and TV talk will be at a minimum for today's episode.
Like,
we won't lie.
Yeah, we got nominated for our posters, and we want to talk about
just
what we did.
The New York kind of
vibes.
We can touch on whether or not the tropes that we talked about last episode were true.
Yes, but film talk will be at a minimum.
Yeah.
It's an update. This is an update for our fans, for our true fans, for our Patreon followers, for our paid subscribers. This is an update for you. But before we get into the show, if you don't already follow us on Instagram, go over Girls on Film Radio. Check out our different posts, our different stories from the weekend. I made a highlight with all of our different little places we went to in New York City. So it's all updated. Also, go check out Chapman Radio's most recent post. It was a little summary of the trip.
Yeah, and you can see our cute little faces with our cute little certificate.
Yeah, we'll get into that. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Don't worry. I didn't really watch anything since the last time we talked.
You watched TV during the trip.
I did.
Not.
Well, I did watch TV because there was not much else to do in the hotel rooms, but I watched Scandal again. I'm not surprised.
Yeah,
what else?
I haven't been watching really anything.
I need to get back into it.
I don't think so. I'm not rushing into anything at the moment. I'm trying to become like a real person again.
Yeah.
I've been taking a nap every 2 seconds, and my naps have been 2 to 3 hours because setting the bod.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. Do we have anything else we need to share before we we're going to maybe go chronological order, I think. We tried doing that yesterday with the roommates, and it was very difficult because all the days kind of mushed together in New York City.
Yeah. If you're part of Chapman Radio and you're somehow listening to this.
I think Cranial Radio is listening. Hey, guys, what's up?
There is a Chapman Radio meeting tomorrow.
Yeah,
General
10 p.m.
meeting, Wednesday, 10 p.m., Irvine Lecture Hall.
Yeah, you get to see our beautiful faces, and we'll bring our certificate. Everyone can look at it.
Yeah,
We
no
still have
touching.
we still have to sign it. It doesn't have our name on it. Whatever.
We'll get into it, but I don't think we have any breaking news, anything that needs to be Girls on 4 have just had a time.
Yeah. So why don't we start with Wednesday night?
Wednesday night was the day. Izzy and I have been buying stuff online. Our parents have been shipping us stuff from their house.
We went to the mall to go specifically buy clothing. This black sweatshirt I bought for the trip.
I got my roots done the weekend before. We were preparing day by day for this trip.
Because we're extra and we want it to be beautiful girlies with beautiful outfits.
Yeah, and I needed to make the most of my first time being in New York. So I was like, I'm going to be Carrie Bradshaw out, fitted up every single day.
Yes, ma'am. And packing was a hassle because we both had like ginormous coats that we wanted to bring, and it just was not fitting in a carry-on suitcase.
And but of everything, we were on top of it.
Oh yeah,
we had very specific plans. We knew exactly what we were doing, how we were gonna get to the airport, what time, blah 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 blah, and we set off like an hour, 2 hours before we were supposed to get to the airport, even though it was only 20 minutes away.
Because we're paranoid. We got to the airport early, and then we waited for everyone else. Everyone got there a little bit later than 7, which was the time we were supposed to meet, but that doesn't matter because nothing matters post this point of the story.
Yeah, so we wait for everybody. Check-in is kind of a hassle because our group of 10 had been divided up into
3 groups.
3 different groups.
A group of 6, a group of 4, and then a single.
Yeah, it's just there's a lot of logistical things that were kind of just unnecessarily complicated. And then the fact that our group was also so big makes it so hard to keep everybody on track.
There was 11 of us plus our faculty advisor, Travis, who's not traveling with us. He traveled the day before.
Yeah.
But the groups were split up between communications majors, Dodge, and then also Tanner. Hi, Tanner.
But all in all, TSA, everything was great. We got through security, and we thought that was going to be the hardest part of our first travel night.
Yeah, it was just security sucks.
And we flew out of Santa Ana, so it's an airport everybody's familiar with. Our flight is a red eye, if we hadn't mentioned that before.
Yeah.
So 9:30 p.m. was our
takeoff time.
Estimated takeoff time. So we're all scrambling to get some food before the flight, but
everything's closed. We're like rushing to the Starbucks in the other terminal because
there's nothing else. We're anticipating that we're just gonna sleep the whole time, and everything is gonna be nice and dandy.
We're gonna get on the plane, and we had this flight was to Atlanta, and then we had a connection from Atlanta to LaGuardia Airport,
and then that would get us to New York at around 8 o'clock,
in the morning.
in the morning.
But the time was slowly creeping in. It was 8:30. It was 8:40. We still hadn't boarded yet. There was no pilot on the plane. There was no steward. There was no flight attendants going on the plane, and the thing on the board, like the electronic board at the top, was like, "Oh no, you're still on. The plane is still on time. We are still leaving at 9:30." And then at like 9:25,
it's getting closer and closer, and we're like, so
what's happening?
There's no one even at the counter. We're like, okay.
And then some guy goes on the thing, and I remember this so specifically. He was like, "Ladies and gentlemen, this flight is not getting off the ground today." And then I swear everyone was like scattered a little bit, like where our suitcases were. Everyone was grabbing their stuff and like picking it up and running to the desk, because we're a group of 11, and the amount of people that we're gonna have to rebook their flight was gonna be crazy. Bella and I think it was Bella and Lily were like bolted to the desk, and we were like the second group in line.
Yeah, and we understood that everybody probably had different intentions as to why they were traveling, right? Like some people were probably trying to get home.
Yeah.
Some people were obviously going for work trips and stuff.
But we were going to win.
Yeah, but we were going to win. So, and the fact that Travis, who is the one that kind of booked everything on behalf of us, wasn't with us. So we just wanted to get there before everybody else, so that we would know everybody would be together at least.
And then we get up to the desk. Our fearless leader, Jackson, figures out that there's no flights tonight, that Wednesday night, that would get us there in the morning. There's no flights like to another connecting airport, but there was 2 flights in the morning, one at like 6 something and one at 9 something.
Yeah.
Out of LAX. Paige is
good.
Paige is injured.
And we're told that not only is it because there was staff and
the pilot was missing. They said the
problems,
pilot was missing before.
and there was some weather issue. So if you haven't already been aware, there's like a cold sweep that's going around the whole country.
But the weird thing, this is an important detail for the end of this story, the very end of our entire trip, is that there was a weather issue, but the pilot was missing because of the Like, the pilot was missing because of weather, I'm assuming. Like, he was probably on a different plane. But since the pilot was missing, it was Delta. We were flying with Delta. It was Delta's fault. Like, Delta was the one responsible for us missing our first flight. So they rebooked us and comped us for a hotel in LAX. So we Ubered to LAX.
Yeah, after lengthy negotiations and having difficulty making calls to Travis because he's already in New York, we are able to get some Ubers, haul all of our asses to LA. And we
slept for 3 hours.
We get to our hotel, slept for literally 2 seconds.
Ended up getting like 7 rooms or something because that was like, I don't know, Tanner somehow finessed 7 rooms. But
right next to the airport.
Like 2 seconds away from the airport.
And we were part of the group that was leaving
at the 6:50
the
or whatever.
earliest, and we had gotten to the airport at fully 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So sleeping was not happening. If anything, it was skincare routine
and then a nap.
shutting your eyes for a second.
Yeah.
And then we were up and at it again.
Yeah. And
straight to LAX.
But it was like, so this was a direct instead of a connecting. Yeah.
So there was some benefits to this alternative kind of flight route in that there's no
trying to get on a different flight.
No trying to like get everybody off, all these different things.
But we did split up, which was very sad.
But we get to LAX and we get through TSA, and then I'm a dumbass and I fully had water in my hydro still, and they made me go all the way around through security again with the hydro. And the dude, when I had gone through the first time, was like, "How much did this mean to you?" And I was like, "I mean, it's my water bottle." Like, I mean,
no, the people at security sucked the whole trip. They were all
they were like especially mean. I don't know what was up everybody's asses this weekend, but I was like, I mean, we have enough time, and I have gone through so much with my emotional support bottle.
Yeah,
that I had gone through the whole TSA thing with it again.
He asked if it means a lot, as if those stickers aren't worn out, and you've been carrying that for years.
Do you see this Harry Styles?
The character of this water bottle is insane.
Yeah, but it did. We got through, and it was fine ultimately because we were right across the street, basically from the airport. Yeah. So we were there as early as we could be.
And then I don't remember what happened on the flight at all. I think I slept. I think I maybe read a book. I don't remember.
Mind you, this is now Thursday.
Oh yeah, this is Thursday morning.
Before we had left Wednesday, we had scheduled through IBS a tour of the SiriusXM New York studios
at like 2:30.
That was scheduled for 2:30 on
Something
Thursday.
Like that. And we made it to LAX, and then it took a 2-hour Uber to get from. We made it to whatever airport we went to, Kennedy.
JFK.
And then we took a 2-hour Uber to get to our hotel, and then that was already 2 o'clock.
Yeah,
and we were not making it.
And it would have been cool, obviously.
Yeah, but we got a cooler opportunity.
Yeah, dead ass. It was not going to happen. We were all just so out of it. And if anything, the second group still hadn't even been
on the
plane. Air yet. Yeah, so we ultimately didn't get to go on that first initial tour, which kind of sucked.
But we did. Did we take a nap? I don't remember.
We got to the hotel and we checked in, blah, 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 blah. We get up there, unpack our stuff, and then we're like, we have to take advantage of it being early evening, and let's just go out and do something.
So this is a funny story. We went to, first off, we stopped at Sephora because it was the release of the Glossier now being in Sephora collection. And we were like, we kind of just want to go and check it out. But Maddie really wanted to go to Shakespeare and Company, which is a store that has these really specific tote bags. If you look up Shakespeare and Company tote bags, it's like a canvas tote, and it like the design is very thin line, like one color kind of thing. We get to the store. It's a bookstore, if you didn't know. And there's like coffee, and it's cute. And I'm expecting like this is the bookstore. Like this is what I had in my mind. Care to?
Yeah, and like we were so bummed out because we had walked a pretty significant ways to get there, and there's no Shakespeare and Companies. Yeah.
Paige is showing the tote. You have to turn your brightness like really low for it to.
I love this.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so this is the tote that everybody has. You know, the William Shakespeare and Co.
Yeah.
Tote and whatever. And we get there and we get a bab because it's so cold.
Yeah, I got a hot chocolate.
And we go through and we're looking for the totes and we're there's no totes. It's only the kind of generic book ones.
Yeah.
And we're bummed out, but
skip forward a day or whatever.
Yeah, but we're like, oh, we'll just go back to another one and we can go find it. Skip a couple days later and I'm just looking at it in passing. This was not what we were looking for.
Shakespeare & Company is a store in Paris, and Shakespeare & Co. is a New York City book chain.
Yeah, so they fully ripped off the original, having known that there's going to be some
New York City tourists.
Yeah, there's going to be people like us with brains for mush that think they're the same thing. But that's why everybody has these tote bags, is because they went all the way to fucking Europe to go get them.
Or order them online.
Or order them online or whatever.
That was very funny to find that out.
Yeah, because everybody that we told we were going there was like, oh yeah, we know them.
Bags.
The tote bags.
Yeah.
No. Completely different thing. Didn't even matter though. It was cute because we had the opportunity to walk around the city, got drinks.
We walked back some circle that I forgot what it's called. Christopher Columbus Circle.
Oh yeah, like Columbus Circle.
Yeah. Is it Christopher Columbus? Is that what the full is Christopher Columbus Circle?
I don't know, but it was Columbus Circle. But that was Thursday.
Yeah. Oh no, we got home and then everyone was back. The second flight landed and we got burger
Shake Shack across the street, and we sat outside because there's no seats inside. It was very cute.
It was freezing outside, but we had burgers outside.
And I had a milkshake, and it was low key funny eating.
And we had arguments about what was better, Shake Shack or In-N-Out, and I still believe Shake Shack is better.
Well, I feel like they're on different playing.
They're different qualities. There's it's a different vibe. You go to In-N-Out for cheap burger that just suits your stomach, but Shake Shack is a quality burger and fries. I think I would rather eat at Shake Shack, but In-N-Out feels more California.
Well, it is.
Yeah.
But I just feel like for me as a vegetarian, they're on two different realms. I digress.
Yeah, this is actually a Burger 5 versus In-N-Out discussion.
But Thursday we knock out and it's Friday.
No, yeah, now it's by the way, Thursday was supposed to be our day where we were gonna have a whole day of
travel,
doing stuff.
fun.
It was gonna be sleeping on both flights and then going and doing all this stuff, but then we our flight got delayed and so we didn't have much time on Thursday.
And Thursday was my dad's birthday.
Yeah.
So we call Mom and all, and he's like, "Oh my God, New York girlie, so cute."
Friday is Maddie's birthday and Zoe's birthday, but we were away from Zoe. But also first day of convention.
Yeah. So we wake up bright and early. Izzy and I and Parker and Tanner, who are our fellow radio
buddies,
hosts.
They
Panther
were
Insider.
They were the other show, specific show that got nominated. So they got nominated for their sports show, and we got nominated for Girls on Film.
So bright and early, the four of us
went to go get bagels
at Liberty Bagel. We take a nice little stroll in the morning before the convention.
Yeah,
kind of is supposed to start.
And it was rainbow bagels. That was why I wanted to go, is because they had rainbow bagels. Yeah. And Shannon Stanton, our friend, swiped up and said, "Gay bagels."
Yeah, gay bagels. But I got a rainbow bagel with birthday cream cheese because duh. And they fully...
I never asked, was it cream cheese or was it sweet?
It was sweet and there's sprinkles in it.
Okay, I didn't know if it was just cream cheese with sprinkles, and I was like, okay.
It was so yummy, but it was so weird because I think that I said my name very clearly, Maddie, but they fully had my name as Rosalinda or something.
No, you took a picture. Please tell me what it was.
I don't know where it is.
It was something it was so off.
It was
Romari. It was Romari.
Romari. Yeah, my name was Romari. I'm like, girl, who?
The coffee was bad.
Oh yeah.
We didn't have one cup of good coffee.
I did. I like my Pret coffee.
That was the last minute of the day.
I know, but it was still so yummy.
So Pret is the coffee place I think there's some in Boston.
Oh, it's definitely a Europe thing. I think it's just not in California, the West Coast.
The thing about them is they're known for their subscription, which is you can pay $25 or $30 a month and you can get 5 coffees a day, on the subscription.
Which is literally my dream.
Which makes me think that it would be bad coffee, but I tasted Maddie's little vanilla latte and it was really good.
Because we're just now getting into the little things.
Food was the best part, by the way.
The food was our favorite part overall, but it's because Izzy and I are latte girls. I'm sorry, but we love a little 1-2 espresso shot with a splash of almond milk.
I'm an iced latte girly because I like iced drinks, but yeah, I need my espresso.
Yeah, I go both ways. For iced and warm, but every time we would get a latte anywhere, it would be black coffee with milk in it, which is not the same thing at all. So that's why the Pret coffee was my favorite, was because they did a proper espresso shot.
But Liberty Bagels was great. And then
But we had realized, oh shit, Travis wants us like back.
We didn't
ASAP.
realize they texted us 15 minutes before 10 o'clock, which was when the convention starts.
Yeah.
We're like, come get your ID cards downstairs. And we're like, we're not there.
Awkward, yeah.
We're not there.
We're on our way. But we end up getting there, got signed in, got our tags, and we go meet up with Jack of Wooden Stairs, Bella of You're Not Like Other Girls, and Jackson Geffen,
Our
fearless leader and GM. And we go to our first panel of the convention, which was...
Well, are we allowed to say criticisms of IBS?
Well,
should we be allowed to? I feel like we could.
Yeah, wait. I'm gonna pull up like the proper names of stuff.
Oh, okay, good.
But
so before the convention, like before we even went, they had a list of panels. So there's like 5 panels every hour, and you could pick which ones to go to. And it was things about radio, things about writing, things about comedy, branding yourself, social media, all these different things.
Yeah, and the panel that we had attended was called Program and Brand Managers: A View from the Top, and it's a general briefing is like 3 of the nation's top radio programmers will discuss their career paths and like how they got involved with the radio and all these different things. But
they were all men.
Just like every other thing that we're in attendance in, whether it's film, radio, writing,
this
all
was
these
a
things,
theme for all the conventions or all the panels.
It's all just old white farts.
Yeah, and the only thing, there was like 2 women I saw, literally the only like one of the things. But the main thing that they were saying every single time was be yourself, be your truest self, but take risks and be different. But also
follow
your heart and do what feels best and what feels truthful.
Yeah.
But take risks, but also be yourself and be your truest self.
It's with like a lot of these kinds of panel-ish things where a lot of the people who are on them just have fallen lucky to circumstance that they got to just be part of radio somehow. So advice is hard for them to give because it's fully the Charlie Puth kind of vibe where he has perfect tone and pitch.
We'll save the screenwriting one for Saturday.
Yeah.
Because that's a story with them. But yeah, it's like, it's not to say that like the people who were on the panels were outdated, but they were like older and not in the like, I guess, Gen Z-ification of radio.
Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate because obviously podcasting and radio hosting has become such a thing now that every other influencer, every other just young 20-something, 30-something has a podcast, has a radio station, or like is part of radio in some degree.
And it's hard to separate yourself from everyone.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate that we had only heard from the perspective of people who had started out in the industry so long ago
that don't have all this competition now.
Yeah, and it's realistically not going to be the same as how we're now entering it.
Because like in the 80s and 90s, celebrities weren't making podcasts about everything. Now every person who has a voice and is good at presenting themselves has a podcast, which is fine because I love listening to podcasts. But like
me too.
the competition.
The competition.
I guess you could say, I don't want to say we were like we're like competing against people, but the there's so
market
many
is
things that already exist that it's hard to be original, and the only thing that they were saying was be original.
It was hard to take away anything that we had not already heard from being in Dodge, which is they were giving us the same rotation of advice of being yourself and all these different things. Anyways, we ate our bagels and I call my dad. We call our dads and say hello. And then we kind of...
There was the keynote speaker, which I don't want to say too much about.
And then at noon was a keynote speaker.
There's supposed to be this in the big conference room that the awards were eventually held in. Like, he was supposed to talk about his career and, like, whatever. He gets up on stage, and he's, like, I feel like he was stalling. Like, there was some... I don't know. He was trying to make jokes. He was, like... He made everyone text him.
Yeah,
like,
he opened up his speech being like, everybody got a cell phone? And we were like...
We know y'all got those.
Yeah, and then he was like... text me. And we were like, what? And he's like, my number is blah, 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 blah.
Send
text
your email,
me.
your school, your name, and then you can... But then he was like, that way you can text me whenever you need advice. And we were like...
No, isn't that so funny? It's very much giving when, like, musicians will have, like, the phone number that you can text for any updates, and I'll personally message you back kind of vibe.
Except Austin Kutcher does actually text people back. He has, like, a separate, like, app thing that he uses to text people back. But... yeah, it was just not good. We did leave.
Yeah, we did leave early through the discretion of like Travis and everything.
I will say that I don't know if it's okay. The convention hasn't happened for like three years since COVID. That convention was canceled, and then the rest of them have been online. So there haven't been panels. There haven't been like a lot of things. So maybe this was a flaw of the first time of them being back, but like it just wasn't.
We have a lot of thoughts, and I also think it's that. IBS as a program is all put on by like volunteers and is really dependent on sponsorships. But it's unfortunate that all of the sponsorships are kind of there had a lot of them, but they were of smaller brands and of smaller companies. Whereas I feel like if they got someone like a Sirius or an iHeart that has connections notoriety and connections in the industry, if they just make those connections, then they could not only have an even stronger convention, but then also they can get like people who are relevant, and it could be like more of a favor kind of thing. Like they could just come in for an hour and talk kind of vibe.
But then somewhere in the middle of that, we found out from Lily, I think her dad works for iHeartRadio, that we were going to get a tour of the iHeartRadio New York City studios. And so we went to that, and that was like really freaking cool.
And it was so awesome.
The entire office was empty, but it was cool.
Yeah, they had apparently they moved from one location to another, and it was so awesome because I didn't realize how many
shows there
are in this one studio.
There was so much stuff.
And it was so cool because they had a bunch of little studios all throughout the whole office space. Of their board is all electronic, which was really cool.
Yeah, everyone was really scared. Like it's all on one like
and
touch
it was, like,
screen.
Half PC and half Apple stuff. So it was super cool. And it was I know that this is how they felt when they like went to Chicago, because there was also another radio trip that happened earlier in the year where a handful of like staff had gone. And it's like so cool to finally be able to experience how radio actually looks like out there in real life.
But it was interesting because like the board they had, that when they did have the physical boards, like was sorry, my wrist hit the thing. Their board looked like ours, but just digital. So we're using the stuff that the real people in the industry are using, which is cool.
And for like iHeart, they have each station is through like a different genre and different things. So each sector that we kind of walked through throughout the office
had like a different show.
Had like different shows.
We saw the Elvis Duran like studio set up with the little whiteboard where all the celebrities signed
and the Breakfast Club set up, which is crazy.
Yeah. And then we visited Z100, which is a radio station that they have, and we talked to Maxwell, who runs the
show. He's like a part of the show. Yeah.
Yeah, and we find out that he's from California. He went to San Luis Poly Slow. Is that what people call it?
Slow.
He went to Cal Poly Slow.
Oh, is he now?
Yeah, I'm learning. And he was doing a panel on Saturday, the next day, at the IBS Awards. And so it was cool because we got to talk to him about that, and then we saw him on Saturday, which was cool. That was the one panel we were like excited for.
Yeah, and then we kind of wrapped up our tour, and we were given Z100 merch.
I wore it to bed last night. It was so comfy.
Yeah. Shout out to Davis.
David, thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
Who gave us the tour and hosts a podcast of his own, which is so cool.
It's called hold on, I'm gonna figure it out.
But as we were kind of like wrapping up, we were trying to decide what are we gonna do, because unfortunately none of the panels were really of interest to us anymore.
David's podcast is called Closing Time.
So good, and it's all about different different celebrity drinks and stuff. Super cute, super cool.
I don't remember what we did after that.
We went to MoMA.
Oh, we did go to MoMA. Oh my God, sorry. So many things happened.
Izzy and I have had plans to want to go to MoMA because it's walking distance from our hotel, and iHeart was super close to our hotel as well. So we kind of organized a small group of us that were planning on going.
Me, Maddie, Jackson, Jack, Parker, Tanner.
And Tanner. So we all bought our tickets through little student discount. And we walked through, and it's so cool. And here's our first film reference of the trip.
They were doing a special exhibit on Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio movie that came out on Netflix. And I really like the movie. I'm a stop motion nerd. I love stop motion. So it was really cool. They had like all the, I feel like we could post some photos to like with this episode's uploaded thing. But they had different animatronics, like the inside body of Pinocchio. They had the set of like the church, which Maddie hasn't seen the movie, but when you watch it, it's gonna be so cool to like have seen it. They had all the different sets, like the different war zones, the houses, like inside Pinocchio's house. It was crazy.
It was super cool, and it was so beautiful. And it had just opened up recently, and it's only gonna be there until about April. So it was so cool for us that we got to see
the film, like
exhibit.
the film one too.
Yeah.
And then I nerded out the entire time because it was like all my art history pieces that I learned in AP Art History, and I'm just a nerd. And I sent a bunch of pictures to my teacher. What?
Is this Mr. Filch?
Yes, from Harry Potter.
Pinocchio.
Oh, he's the dad. Talking to
the mic. I got you on. Yeah, I got it.
Go a little closer.
Looking up Pinocchio because Izzy is so passionate about it. And I'm just, peeking at what actors are part of the project. And, I see Finn Wolfhard, great. And then I see Mr. Filch from Harry Potter. It makes an appearance.
She's a Potterhead, y'all. She's a Potterhead. Yeah.
Reformed. I don't support J.K. Rowling.
But no, it was very cool. But all the art history, I was nerding out. But the Starry Night was underwhelming because there was a lot of people
it was so small, but it was super, super cool. We, in my kind of like brief research of before going to the museum, it said that you want to take around 2.5 to 3 hours to get through the whole thing. And we got there at 2, and
it took us a while.
And it closed at 5. So it took us a while, but we got through everything we wanted. We browsed through the store, but it was kind of like so overwhelming because there's so many people there.
Oh, the best exhibit I think of we did there was the one called Bodies on the Line, which was like the female exhibit about different
like female artists in like the 70s and 80s
but
or something.
The boys were very excited about like the game. There was like gaming, like digital art kind of section where there was like a bunch of video games stuff. It was very fun.
Minecraft at MoMA.
Yeah, Minecraft and SimCity at MoMA.
It was so tight. It was really cool. But we kind of wrapped that up, and then it was told to us that there was going to be like another kind of dinner with everybody who's on the trip, but I made Izzy and I reservations at a very delicious, yummy restaurant called Planta, which is a vegan, Asian, like Pan-Asian inspired restaurant that I've always wanted to try because they don't have it in California. Mm-hmm. It's only in like New York and Chicago and Florida randomly.
Oh, yeah. But we got pizza with the group. David Portnoy reviewed 9.3 pizza. It was fine.
Yeah, and he's the dude from like Barstool and stuff.
It was a fine pizza, but we left and
it was delicious. But I didn't want my first pizza experience to be a sit down place. I wanted it to be like a slice, but it was a proper sit down restaurant. Mm-hmm. And at this dinner, we had brought up the possibility of everybody getting yadded. The next day.
Yes, parents, brace yourselves.
Brace yourself.
No, we were talking about getting flash tattoos because we were like, oh, we're in New York City, like this will be a good memory. Like there's definitely places open that we can go to, and we were thinking like, oh, would we go tonight or would we go tomorrow night? We decided we would go after the awards show.
Yeah, and a lot of people all of us on staff and just like the whole group in general, we all have, obviously not only through radio, but we all have generally like similar interests. So everybody as a group really wanted to like go and check it out and stuff. So that was our dinner plans. And then there was post-dinner plans.
Which was dinner again.
So we Uber over to Soho, which is where the restaurant is.
Guys, I'm telling you, this food was so good.
And we, just like true New York women, we had dinner at 9:15. I made reservations for us pretty late at night because I was trying to like make time for us to be part of the group and then to also go that night. We get there and it's packed.
Yeah, but we made a reservation at 9:15. Keyword 9:15.
9:15, and the hostess is like, if I don't get you guys seated in the next 15 minutes, 20 minutes, appetizers on me. And I'm like, oh, slay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we're in no rush,
and it took 30 minutes, and we didn't care.
Yeah, we didn't care. We were like, oh, well, I'll wait another hour. Like, we're good. But the restaurant, cutest restaurant I've ever been to.
And it was cute on the top. The top was pink, and the top was like
dim light. Yeah, there's a disco ball, like rattan.
But then they sat us downstairs in the dragon den.
And it was an all black,
sexy red, yellow, gold. Like it was
with dragons everywhere, mirrors like all around. It was so cool.
It was like a private room, like a party room.
This restaurant is so awesome. It was so, I feel like it was just so epitome of New York.
So Soho.
Cute. It was all young people there. Yeah. There was people going on dates, people having girls' night with their friends. It was just so cute.
And it was yummy. And the best food we had was the broccoli. What is it called?
So Planta is known for a couple of their things. It's again like vegan Asian food, and they're known for this appetizer, which is their bang bang broccoli tempura.
Oh my god, it was so good.
Like sweet and spicy sauce
and peanut sauce, but Maddie didn't have that. Yeah, the peanut sauce on the side.
But we had it, and we were like, "Holy shit,
this
is so good!"
And then the noodles.
And we got this creamy vegan truffle mushroom udon. Oh my god, it was so good. We had crispy rice with avocado and vegan caviar
that was
fire. I got this like eggplant nigiri. It was good, but I I really only got it so I can like say that I tried their sushi. It was pretty good, but
Yeah.
it felt like something I could eat
But
here.
the first things were like so good.
And then we also ordered a plate of like their dumpling platter that was
But-
their Friday special.
But it didn't end up coming. I don't know if it was too loud for the guy to hear us, but then we canceled it because we were full.
Yes, and we were like, oh, let's like get the bill. Like, let me just.
Like get the bill. For the people watching on YouTube, you get it.
But we get it and we pay, and the restaurant's kind of slowing down, so service is like becoming faster. And it wasn't until after we paid, which was a whole other issue on its thing because like
Apple
they were
Pay
only
and
doing Apple
QR
Pay and
codes. I don't even know.
But I pay, and I'm like,
They didn't comp us for our appetizer.
yeah. Sorry, not to be a Karen.
In normal situations,
But-
I probably would have said nothing. But we
Yeah.
were being fancy girls.
Yeah, and this appetizer was like $15. So
Yeah.
I was like, oh, we're getting comped, babes. Let's go upstairs. So we're waiting around. I try finding the hostess. She's no longer on, like
Working.
So they bring out the manager. We talk to her. She says like, okay, yeah, totally.
I'll
Give
do it
her
in
my
the
email.
morning.
And then we go home, and my aunt had DoorDashed us like milk
Cookies
and cake, which is the bakery, like sister bakery of a really famous New York restaurant called Momofuku's, who does Asian noodles. You've probably even seen them at Target now that they sell them in Chili Crisp and stuff. But they have a bakery called Milk, 2 slices of their famous confetti cake, and then the chocolate confetti cake, a dozen cookies.
Oh my god, they're so good. We still have some. We brought
We
them
saw
back.
some, and we're eating like 3 an hour.
But they gave Maddie back $30. They
Instead of
refunded
the
her
14,
$30.
which is so lit. I'm like, oh, no questions.
No questions.
Thank you, Planta.
Yeah.
But
That was Friday.
I go to bed. We go to bed so satiated and so lucky to have turned 20 in the best city in the world.
And then Saturday was convention
day.
day. What
It's-
did we get for breakfast?
Saturday, we...
Did we get bagels again?
Let me check. Me checking. But Saturday was not only second day of the convention, but also the award ceremony in the evening. So, Izzy had found a cute little restaurant cafe in Central Park.
Yeah.
We
we went out, it was freezing, it was snowing, it ended up snowing.
and it was amazing. It was so cute.
but the coffee was really bad and the food was pretty average, but the place was cute.
Yeah, but the place was cute. We met this British couple who took our photos,
Yeah.
and it was so cool. I was so cool too because the only snow I've experienced has been in places like Tahoe in California, which is like had already snowed, and then
Yeah.
you just like play in it. Whereas
This was
having
actually
this, it was
snowing.
like it's actually actively
Yeah.
snowing as we were out. So I thought that was so fun and cool.
But then we
So we had I had wanted to go to this store. Okay, so
we're like we have like 15 minutes to get through us. We got this.
I'm a shopping girl, so I
Also, if you haven't already followed us on Instagram or know who we are, Girls on Film Radio on Instagram, we're Izzy and Maddie. We're talking about New York City. Okay.
our awesome trip. So
Yeah.
I'm a fashion girl. I wanted to shop, thrift, whatever I could while on this trip, but our time was already so limited. So we were like, okay, in the morning, I had kind of made plans with Jack, who had wanted to go to Dover Street Market, which is this
Both
high-end,
Jack and Jackson.
and this is like a high-end kind of store that sells all of these different brands that I'm really interested in, like Heaven Marc Jacobs, all these cutesy little things. We Uber over to Soho to go to the store. They meet us there. We walk around.
The most expensive clothing I've ever seen in my whole life.
Yeah. They had like a bunch of brands that I really liked, but nothing is really speaking to me. I'm glad that I didn't because Heaven just did a new drop.
But it was a
Spring,
really cool
summer.
store. It was a really cool store. It was 7 floors, and like each floor was weirdly decorated, and it was cool.
Yeah. So all in all, we did no clothing souvenirs for us to be brought back.
But we Ubered back.
But we Uber back, and then we took it out for 2 seconds,
Yeah.
and then
The
we
award
get
show.
ready for the awards.
Yeah, we got dressed and ready to go. We met in the convention room at a table, and
it's the most disorganized thing I've ever been a part
no,
of.
there's no tables labeled for schools, which I was assuming was like a given where they were just going to
Yeah.
give each school like
You know.
however many tables for the people that were there because I don't know, it just makes sense. Like
Yeah.
maybe the people who got nominated for the most in the front, and then like
I don't know. I was like
but
something.
we just sat randomly.
And we had gotten ready with plans to go out afterwards. So we were in like 10,000 layers, hot as
Yeah.
hell in this convention.
But there was people wearing like 3-piece suits, and then some people wearing sweatpants
and
I was like,
t-shirts. So
yeah.
we're like, that was another thing. I just felt like it was very disorganized and that nobody was on the same page for anything, which is kind of unfortunate.
But then the announcer guy, who's one of the volunteers, he's like the main president of the IBS. His announcing, he sounds like the sweetest guy ever, but like he just was not keeping anyone engaged with his talking. He was messing up some of the
making
award
a lot of
titles.
mistakes.
He did a whole, if y'all familiar with the La La Land Moonlight Oscars fiasco, he like, a lot of the radio shows from different colleges, they are like radio on air. So they have like, they're like, just like Z100, they have like a letter and then their number. It's like their radio frequency. Chapman Radio is only streaming, so it's chapmanradio.live. So like people's award shows, or when they were announcing themselves during the panels, was like, I am with WXZ or 317, whatever. There were 2 stations that started with like almost the exact same like KH something, and then the numbers were different from different colleges. But he didn't say the college ahead of time. He just started with the KH whatever. Yeah. And one table who was right in front started screaming and was so excited. But then he was like, actually, they went up to the stage, and then he was like, actually, it's not you guys, it's the other one. And he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna start saying the college names now." And it was like bad. It was
because it was a really big. It was one of the bigger awards. It was like the best station something
above 10,000 or something like that.
But because our nomination was in the promotions kind of category, it kind of happened earlier on, but there was also a handful of our like station nominations that were said before, and we had not gotten anything yet. So we were like, oh shit, and we're slowly like
and a lot of the awards like sound the same. It's like best poster, best promotional poster, best
so
poster
we're like on the edge of our seat like every single time.
And then we black out. They say best promotional poster goes to Girls on Film Radio, Chapman University, Izzy and Maddie. And then we're like,
everybody's like screaming because like everybody who's like getting a win is screaming, pounding tables, like, standing up.
The Chapman Radio table was screaming.
And it was the cutest thing ever. We go up, and Izzy and I are like jumping up and down, like running.
We should have said they didn't have the trophies. The trophies were stuck in another state because of the weather.
Yeah, so there's only certificates
without names on them.
So we get up there and we get the certificate. It's not like anybody's taking our picture up there or anything. We get it, and there's our show name is not on there. The school name's not on there. Our names aren't on there.
The colors of it are like a PowerPoint template that are not green. Yeah. It was just a little whatever. But we won, so I don't care.
But we won, and
that was the only award we won the night. But that's okay.
It's actually so surreal still thinking about it, because it was only the night before that we finally were starting to see other nominations in the category. And I was getting super psyched out.
There was one from whatever school that was like super good that we were going up against.
It was really cool. And I was like, oh fuck. Like, I always think that everything happens for a reason, and that like, to me, because we had such a hard time finding other like nominees, examples or whatever, the fact that we found one the night before I thought was a sign that we weren't gonna win.
Yeah, but also like we were looking when we got nominated, like in December, we were trying to find other people that got nominated, and it was so hard because no one was promoting the fact that they got nominated.
Yeah, it was so weird. I was like, okay, we are not like you.
But we won, and then we went out and we got flash tattoos. My parents, who I didn't tell, I guess you're hearing about it now. I don't have, it's under my jacket. We got flash pieces, so they were like $50. We made appointments like the morning of, because even though it's a place known for flash tattoos. Yeah. So they have like literally thousands of designs. Maddie got a cute little cupcake.
You can't really see it because it's like on my arm, and I don't want to actually get over the whole thing. I can show, but we
4 of us got tattoos. It was me, Maddie.
I put it all the way down. Should I put it all the way down?
Not all the way, but like to a very low level. Me, Maddie, Jack, and Bella all got tattoos.
That's what mine is. Can you see it?
We can post them on the account too. It's a cupcake.
It's on my left arm, and it's a cupcake with a face, and I absolutely love them. They're so cute.
And then so again, we're all saying we say go with our gut.
Yeah,
that's
what I've been
motto
trying.
for this weekend.
Yeah.
I've had some tattoo trauma, so this was probably the easiest tattoo I've ever gotten in my life. It's like
a cow.
You're not gonna be able to see. My arm is so white in this photo. It's like a couch. Like it's you definitely cannot.
Yeah,
it's like a little baby like fluffy couch. And I was thinking like this was my instinct when we saw it on the Instagram account. I was like, oh, this is really cute. But let me look at some other options. I could not decide on anything else but this couch. And I was like, I'm in it to win it.
And I feel like that was like when we were taking our Uber over there. I was talking about like what advice I feel like would have been beneficial for these panelists to say, and I feel like one of them
was go with your gut.
Because not a lot of like people really encourage that, but I feel like your initial gut reaction to things is usually what you should just go with anyways. So
Go with
in
your gut.
taking that, we brought that to our little tattoo moment.
And we need to rush the rest of the story so we can get to the airport fiasco.
Oh, yeah,
So
so we
that
got-
night we went to Times Square. We saw a rave, a Jewish holiday rave.
and we got really good pizza.
It was pizza from another place Div Portnoy reviewed, 8.3, deep dish, sweet, juicy, delicious pizza.
Whoa.
We went back to the
Adjectives.
hotel. We played Jackbox.
It was so fun.
We drank some prosecco and some orange juice. I'm gonna say it.
Yeah,
we
and
had
then
a good time.
We did not pack.
No, we did barely.
Because Sunday we were supposed to leave.
We're supposed to leave Sunday at 5:00 is our plane time. It literally took us 3 hours to get to the airport because we had to take a subway to Penn Station, a train from Penn Station to the airport, a bus, a trolley, another
shuttle.
thing, whatever. It was crazy.
To the New Jersey airport, which was crazy because we saw other Chapman students
In the
there
airport. Yeah.
who are on the water polo
But
team.
we get on, we're there. We already know previously from our booking the flights that our connection time our connection was gonna be in Phoenix. We were flying from Newark to Phoenix to Santa Ana. Our connection time was 30 minutes. Now, I don't know who at American Airlines when we were flying back allowed us to book it this close, but we were already stressing because we're a group of 11 people traveling again without Travis, trying to figure out how to get there in an organized fashion. And so we go up to the desk right as our plane right there, and we're like, hey, is there a way we can board early so we make sure our suitcases don't get put under? Is there a way you can let us get off first somehow to get there on time? And the lady was like, no, we can't do any of these things. We can't even alert the other plane because they don't need to know. They already know that there's connecting flights that are
They
close.
could just go faster.
She literally was like, the plane can just fly faster. Okay.
Yeah.
The plane
Okay,
gets
Maverick.
delayed an hour. The plane gets delayed an hour because of air traffic control. This is another key thing. Air traffic control, which is not American Airlines' fault, technically. We get on the plane, then we get delayed a half an hour in air because of turbulence. They have to fly around turbulence. It was the scariest turbulence.
It was the scariest fun of my life. Yeah, I watched Barbarian for the first time. I can talk about it in another episode. It was
We
shit.
haven't done a movies we hate episode. We need to do that.
Yeah, it was not good at all. It was so bad.
But we get to the Phoenix, Arizona. Then here's where the story really starts, and we have 5 minutes to talk about this.
Yeah.
We get to Phoenix. Our flight's already gone. The flight we landed at 9:40 or something, and the flight was supposed to leave at 9:10, and it was gone.
Yeah.
So we go to the American Airlines desk. They rebook us on one flight for 8:40 in the morning the next day. But remember when I was saying at the beginning when Delta rebooked us because it was a pilot missing, so it was their fault. They rebooked us and comped us for a hotel. American Airlines, after even literally an hour of hustling by our fearless leader Jackson, would not comp us for a hotel because it was not their fault because it was air traffic control.
Yeah.
And this was at 10 o'clock at night, and our flight was at 8:40 in the morning.
And we have no money.
We have no money. All the things are closing. We don't have room in the budget to feasibly buy hotel.
To only sleep in an hour and then to come.
Yeah, so we slept in the airport overnight in front of the American Airlines desk so that they would see the pain that we were in.
Yeah.
And we tweeted them a bunch of times, and they responded and were like, please tell us your flight info. And then
Yeah, they were
Jackson's
like-
I'm not doxing myself.
Yeah. They were like, it sounds like it really, you're having a hard time.
Please, we can help.
Please DM me.
Yeah, what internet Twitter or at Delta or American Airlines Twitter, it was answering. We stayed overnight. I stayed up. I could not sleep. I was paranoid. I let everyone else sleep. I took funny photos. If you want to see them, go on my Instagram.
On the Chapman Radio,
Instagram.
But we were playing games. We were just talking. It was honestly pretty nice, despite the
fun.
fact that they fully had the
Guy who was cleaning.
yeah, and the homeless people kind of chairs where they don't let people lay on them by having
The bars.
immovable armrests.
Yeah.
A whole other thing on its own. We wake up. Kind of.
I woke everyone up
Yeah.
an hour and a half before the flight. So because we had to change terminals too.
And we
we forgot to say we saw Peter Dinklage in the Newark airport.
in Jersey.
Oh my god, we were so in the Newark airport.
Do you have thoughts, Paige?
We
Jealousy.
Yeah.
is my fault.
So this Newark airport is backtrack. The Newark airport is redone and completely new. They have fucking ambient music playing, and it's really weird.
It was fully $3 billion airport.
Yeah, and it was okay. I'm telling you, this was a mall, a high tech mall that happened to also have planes that you could travel out of. And we were in line, and the two things that we didn't see on our bucket list in New York was a rat and a celebrity sighting. We didn't see any of those. And then just as we were in the line to get into TSA, Peter Dinklage walks by.
Behind us. And we're actually so gagged because we're like, holy shit, our trip's actually turning around. This is fucking awesome.
It was not. It was about to go downhill.
Yeah, but
Go.
But we ended up getting on the flight, and the flight was literally 2 seconds long, but it felt like the longest fucking trip of my whole damn life.
Yeah, we were all in middle seats too.
Yeah, from Arizona to California, we took up a full row, which is kind of funny, but we land thankfully safely, despite the fact that we had barely missed the checkout or like checking in bags kind of thing. So me, Bella, and Jackson had to like leave the plane to go check in our bags, come back on, even though everybody's already sitting.
At that point, it couldn't get lower.
The stewardess were actually so rude.
No, they were like, hurry up. This always happens when we go to OC.
Yeah, they were like, come on, let's go. Like, no pictures. Like, let's go. We need to get a move on. I'm like, damn, lady, take the stick out of your ass. You don't even know the night I've had. But we end up landing back in Orange yesterday.
Yeah, and we had a very long day yesterday. I did my laundry. I took a nap. I went grocery shopping. I did all my homework. It was a day. I had already stayed up, and so I was like, I can't sleep through the day because then I won't be able to sleep at night. So I took a nap and then just was exhausted. And my left eye was twitching because I was like blind.
Bro, all I did was literally unpack, shower, and and that was it.
Yeah.
But now
we are winners.
Yeah.
And that's all that matters. The trip was worth it because we brought back an award for Chapman Radio, and I'm very happy for us.
And we look forward to hopefully impressing and stunting for IBS for the rest of our Chapman careers. Woohoo!
So thank you for listening to our little debrief of New York City. We didn't really talk about the tropes, but because there was just so much happening.
But we did mention our movies.
Yeah, we did mention movies.
Peter Dinklage, Barbarian was shit.
And Guillermo del Toro was cool.
Yeah. But thank you guys so much for listening. Girls on Film Radio.
Thank you for supporting
on Instagram,
us.
Chapman Radio on Instagram.
We love you. We love you. We love you.
Next week's episode, who even knows? We're kind of just vibing.
Yeah.
You know, but tune in again Tuesdays at 5.
Yeah.
Only on ChapmanRadio.live. Have a great week.
Yeah.
We love you.
Take
See
a
you
nap.
later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Approach and identify.
This is
the music. It's up and it's bumping, yeah.
The city's hit music authority.
Less commercials. Less commercials, for sure.
The all-new Chapman Radio.
Plays the best music.
Chapman Radio's hottest variety show is back, and it's bigger, better, and brainier than ever before. Tune in to Cranial every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on Chapman Radio for fun facts, sweet tunes, current events, and test your knowledge with live interactive trivia. Streaming online at chapmanradio.live, Cranial is a brilliantly good time.
Feel the way because I pretty much am. Damn, being anything but lazy. Making these crowds go fucking crazy. Practice backflips on these stages. Give everybody in the front row raises. Real, Kyle, yeah, that's my baby. Every day feels like I fucking made it. Young King Wade from California. Women look 23 when they 80. Let's move in a castle. You stop dating these assholes. And we can start off every day with sex and Super Smash Bros. And if you're down, well, yeah, I'm down. And we can kick it. Don't be weird. You're acting weird. You're making this weird. Here, girl, just listen. Shawty, swing my way. Memories on the beach sound good to me, so swing my way. Shawty, swing my way. You want it, you got it, baby, come on, come on, come on, come on. You want it, you got it, baby, come on, come on. In the motherfucking whip like it's Mario Kart, and I just got to start. Damn, man, that's real cool. I knew I wasn't gonna really need school. She like me, nigga, not you. You're some guy, now I'm that dude. Dude, niggas didn't think it was true. They thought my wishes would never come true. They thought I'd end up like all of my friends, selling narcotics to pay for my food. Nah, sorry, no.